Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think I'd like to remind the members on the other side of the House that this country will not be a good place for us to live unless we make it a good place for all of us to live in. Mr. Speaker, it's been 6 months since I gave my maiden speech on my aspirations as a new Member of Parliament and the aspiration I had for this country. And I believe it is incomprehensible that this government that boasts of having the business and scientific minds at its disposal is not willing or able to address the needs of those not only from my electorate in Manukau East, but also the needs of all New Zealanders in general. Members on the other side of the House need to be reminded of who they are. This is our country. Cherish our natural wonders, our natural resources, history and romance as a sacred heritage for our children and our children's children. Do not let selfish men or greedy interests skin your country of its beauty, its riches, or its romance. If I was to sum up the progress of the national government up to now, it would be in one word, and that word would be betrayal. But hey, why don't we broaden it and include its coalition partners as well? Poverty is still here. It's still with us. It isn't getting any better or brighter. Poverty has a huge negative impact on the general psyche and general well-being of our nation. Even the bells and honking horns by psychophantic morning talkback hosts who bang on about their beloved junkie cannot mask that. As I look around my electorate, Mr. Speaker, the question keeps popping up. Where are the houses promised? Where are the better schools, health services and jobs? I believe they are still with committees, the talkback host and the government's think tank. The poor have been dispossessed of their housing to facilitate the few who don't pay tax. We are still talking about charter schools which we know don't work. Health services have been thrown a few peppercorns through whānau water to shut the natives up. I see that they are roping in the few well-intended smiley Pacific faces into whānau water just to try and give it a bit of a credibility. Pacific people know very well that this doesn't work and is throwing good money down a very large public convenience. Then there's the Pacific Island Affairs. What Pacific Island Affairs? If National don't seem to think it's an important portfolio, then what hope? What hope is there for the people in my community, in Porirua, Otara, Glen Innes, Papatoetoe and so on of South Auckland? You would think, with high-end statistics on most fronts, that the Ministry of Pacific Island Affairs would be given a fair go. Can it not be trusted with enough responsibility to design its own realistic Pacific policies? We need to address the issues that our Pacific communities confront with urgency if we are to make any beneficial process or progress. Many of our poorest spend far too long sleeping on friends' floors. This in turn creates relationship stresses with their spouses and whānau and āinga who also are poor. They will often be angry and distressed. They will not be supervising their children well enough or caring for them because their capacity to do so is lowered by real options available to them. Many of our people are pouring money into casino gambling machines in the vain hope that they will hit a jackpot. In reality, the jackpot for them is either scraping up airfares to Aussie, the Dole Queue, or Salvation Army social services who are not only doing God's work, but are now struggling with the ever-increasing evil of child poverty. These are the factors, Mr. Speaker, that contribute to a bleak future for our people because their physical, mental and educational development is restricted. Knowing what's right doesn't mean much unless the government does what's right. New Zealand First believes in creating wealth for our country, not just for the few. We hope our governments wake up and find real solutions for all New Zealanders.
Speaker.
I call